Hello and welcome to the video. This is the video of Evidence 3 where I talk about my research project. So let's get started. The introduction. My research project is about vaccines and which is a very controversial topic. And the reason why I chose this is because vaccines for me are a very important thing since I know that I need them, but I actually have a phobia of them. When I see a vaccine, I actually start crying and get really nervous because I hate vaccines. So I wanted to know more about them. Okay, so there are people that are opposed to vaccines called anti vaxxers. And two of the many reasons that they have is because number one, they have had bad experiences with vaccines. Maybe they had an allergic reaction to it, or two, they found internet information about a vaccine and that it's bad and stuff like that. Nevertheless, in this video, I will talk about how my research leads to new research projects, also how it could be applied to today's knowledge, its impact, and which people could be against my research. So let's get started. First, I'm going to talk about the 5 research projects that my research could lead to. And the first one is the alternatives. What I mean by this is that alternatives could be used as a defense of diseases instead of vaccines, since a lot of anti vaxxers aren't really taking those vaccines, maybe an alternative could be used instead of a vaccine. Maybe it's not going to be like the same defense, but it's going to be there's going to be some of defense. So I think I want to see, or I want people to do that research project because I think it will be a great solution. The next one is which vaccines are the ones that cause more or usually cause more of the side effects and why? Because anti vaxxers, all they do is care about the side effects because side effects do affect some people. Not that many, and there are basically more benefits to the vaccine instead of its risk factors, but they are there. And for anti vaxxers, side effects are really important and are the things that they don't want their children or them to get. So I want to know a research that talks about which vaccines are the ones that cause more side effects and what we can do about it. The next thing is there a way to eradicate a few almost side effects of vaccines? This would be more of an investigation, and literally in this research, people will need to have a team that is actually specializes on the topic, but I think it will be a great um, research and it will bring a lot of information. The next thing is what will be the consequences in the future if we keep not vaccinating? Because since a lot of more people are not vaccinating, we will eventually become less, how do you say? We'll become weaker through viruses because people that are not vaccinated will get sick on the diseases that we do have vaccination for, and then that disease could be spread to people that do have the vaccine. So I want to know maybe the death rates or the population that is considerate that will be in the future. And the last one, I would like to see a research project that talks about more of the anti-vaxxers' opinion, and maybe interview some of them or go to one of their group meetings since they have an association. For my research project, I had a lot of limitations and restrictions. I couldn't really get someone that was an anti-vaxxer or maybe interview them or just get their opinion or make them do the survey that I made. So I really want to know more about anti-vaxxers and their opinions and their associations. So I really want to see that research. Now, the next topic, I guess. How can they be applied? So basically, my research could lead to the development of new medical technology, and that could help reduce some risk factors of the vaccine. And maybe this machine or stuff that reduces the risk factors could be checking the substance or the medicine, that if this substance is clear, which is it does not have that much or that many or maybe one or two risk factors, or if the vaccine is not clear, which is if it has a lot of risk factors. And the reason why I think that the development of new technology for eradicating the risk factors is important is because, as I said before, anti-vaxxers really just care about the risk factors. An experience. I want to talk about something. In a video, there was this woman that talked about how she, her daughter, about how her daughter got an allergic reaction to a vaccine and how she vaccinated her every time and she was getting an allergic reaction. So it's about the risk factors, and because of those risk factors that people decide not to vaccinate, even though not all vaccinations cause that same risk, have that same risk factor, but that's one of the reasons why anti-vaxxers really just don't want vaccines, because of those risk factors. So I think that that could be a change that we could do for the helping of changing the anti-vaxxers perspective on vaccines, because if we do have that machine and vaccines do go through that machines, then anti-vaxxers know that that machine tells you if a vaccine is clear or not clear. Maybe they will be a lot more comfortable of getting a vaccine or getting their children vaccinated. Now, for the impact, I think my research shows that most of the population is really in favor of vaccines. As I said before, on my survey, I interviewed and all of the people that answered the survey were pro vaccines, so there are a lot of people that are in favor of vaccines. But we still have a percentage of people that are anti vaxxers, as well as my research presents that most of the information that anti vaxxers get are from the internet. And usually, most of the times, the information is fake or not justified. It's not supported. So I think that my research will change the aspect of how information is being put online on the internet. What information is good and what information is bad. So maybe in the future, in order to upload some type of information, maybe the information needs to go through a process where it has to be justified by a series of specialists or a team that says, okay, this information is correct and it is justified, and this information is not because it doesn't have any details, it doesn't have a great base, so it's not good and it should not be uploaded. So I think that the information that we put on the internet, it is very important and it is very crucial because people do sometimes believe information that is actually fake. Now, number 5, the people that are opposed, that could be opposed to my research. Obviously, I think that the people who will be opposed to my paper will be the anti-vaxxers, since I have seen videos where they really, even though they have been proven wrong or have been proved that the information where the sites where they got the information from is actually fake, they still stick to what they read online and think that it's not fake, and they stick to what they believe in. As well, they will maybe criticize my conclusions since I'm really a pro-vaxxer and I take more of the size that is in favor of vaccines. And I also think that they will actually be okay, because I also said that the anti-vaxxers that have had bad experiences with the vaccines and their risk factors do actually are justified for not getting the vaccine. So I think it will be half and half. I think some anti-vaxxers will be mad, some anti-vaxxers will be okay with my research, because I think that people who don't get vaccinated because they have the bad experiences are justified. Because if you keep getting a vaccine that actually makes you feel worse than before, then you shouldn't be getting it. But that's only one vaccine. You should really not just give up on every other vaccine, because not all vaccines have the same risk factor. And most vaccines really benefit you more than make you feel worse. So I hope that at least they know that I am in between in my research project. So, in conclusion, this paper was really fun to do. I really learned a lot of vaccines and a lot of anti-vaxxers and many opinions. I think that evidence 2 was actually more fun than evidence 1. And the reason why is because evidence 1 is about gathering information, and evidence 2 is more about getting people's opinion and doing a survey and watching and reading the answers that I got. Is actually really fun, and I learned a lot. So I really like the evidence 2. I also like the evidence 1, but I prefer evidence 2. And evidence 3, this video is actually very easy for me because it's just talking about what I did on my evidence 1 and evidence 2. So I really hope that you like this video, teacher. This video is way too long. It's 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So bye, and thank you for watching my video.